You know, everyone thinks they understand gratitude. Make a list, say thank you, count your blessings. It's sweet, right? And it's usually pretty superficial. Gratitude is so much more, my friends, than a feel good practice. And you might know that. You might have heard, right, that gratitude is a really powerful practice. It has the power to create some pretty great results, right? Pretty great changes in our frequency in our energy bodies. But but even more than that, like, gratitude is a gateway. It is a frequency that can unlock so much potential and great potential in our relationships. Gratitude, my friends, is a portal into something deeper, richer, and more connected in our partnerships than probably what you're living right now. And so in this catalyst conversation, I'm going to pull back that curtain and talk about what most people miss when it comes to gratitude and how you can use gratitude's true power to unlock more love and more connection and more possibility in your relationships. So, welcome back to another Catalyst conversation in the Relationship Revolution, where we challenge the unquestioned assumptions about love. We flip the script on what it is that you've been taught, teach you things that you haven't, and reveal the truths that no one has taught you so that you not only learn how to do relationships better, but you also become empowered to consciously create the powerful relationships that your soul and your success deserve without having to wait on anyone else to get it. Because truly, my friends, our world needs a new standard of how we do relationships. By the way, in case you may have heard, I've got some kids in the room today. And that's okay, because life is lifing, and we had some kid drama. And I've got a sick Calvin who's got strep throat today. So I'm doing some extra mommy duty and separating some children and pulling them in here. So even with headphones on, sometimes they forget how to, be quiet in their mouths. But it's cool because we get life, and here we be. And this is part of the revolution too, right? Like, Bodhi, honey, I'm recording a live class, okay? So if you got to talk, can you whisper? Okay, thank you. It's okay. Here we be. If you don't know me, and this is your first time turning in, welcome to me and my life. My name is Dr. Jenny. I am your relationship rebel, intuitive infinite possibilities guide, and relationship empowerment expert. I am also co-founder of Powerful Love Relationships that I founded alongside my partner and soulmate, Calvin, who is co-parent in our blended family of 4 young children. So I've got 2 of them here in the room with me today. Calvin and I, in our business, in our lives, we are on a mission, my friends, to not just help people have better relationships. We are on a mission to revolutionize relationships and redefine what it really means to love, which is about unlocking a new level of power, of consciousness, of healing, of connection, of accountability, of heart-centered, relationally intelligent being in our world on a global level. And we do this through our transformational mentorship, our national and international speaking efforts, both verbal and written truth-telling, and accessible digital courses, and practical and effective tools and frameworks that actually support real change. Our work is founded on a core truth, and one that no one ever talks about or tells us. And it's this, my friends. It is that it only takes one person to change. It takes each of us. It takes you, love, which is also to say that you are incredibly powerful in creating the relationship that you desire. You are incredibly powerful. And it is my desire to help you recognize and unlock and effectively use that power for good, through what it really means to love, and for the highest good and growth of all, so that you can have what you desire and so that humanity can grow and evolve. No big deal, right? So I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. If you want to help us in accelerating this global movement, make sure that you comment, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share about our work, attend our events like our upcoming Infinite Possibilities in Relationship event, December 15th through 19th. I'm going to share more information about that later. And of course, do your part to continue leading with love, because it really does take each and every one of us. Ready for today's conversation? Let's get into it. So all month long, as I'm recording this, we are in the month of November 2025. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. And so we have been talking this month about what becomes possible when you stop settling for the relationship that you were taught to accept, and you start opening up to what's actually possible, right? We're talking about how we unlock more of what's possible in love, which is a great conversation, I think, for this season of giving thanks, the season of like transition, as autumn often is, as we lead into the slowing down of winter and then the bringing in of the new light, and leading up into our conversation about infinite possibilities and welcoming in this like refresh in the new year, right? So we're looking at, what do we desire? What are we letting go of? What's the old standard we no longer want? What are we dreaming of? And how do we start to get that? And so this has been a conversation this month about possibility and expansion and magic and the inner leadership that make all of that real. And so today I thought, the day following a day of what we hope is a day of giving thanks, while, I want to also put a pin in our need to also use Thanksgiving as a day of recognizing our history in the United States of atrocities and colonization, and mourning for what happened to Native people and their culture, such that so many of us have the food and the resources and the land and the privilege that we are giving all of our thanks for. Both and, right? But and like the thanks we still get to have, how are we giving it? Right? How are we doing gratitude? Because gratitude, like we talk about it in lots of ways, in lots of places, and certainly on Thanksgiving. And yet I really believe it is one of the most underestimated, misunderstood, and radically transformative forces in your relationship, in our lives. And it's not, and the practice of gratitude, the way that it can be so transformative, is not the way that we've been taught. So gratitude isn't just this like warm thought, right? It's not just like, oh, thank you for doing this. Like we think that that's gratitude, right? We make that list, right? It's not something we just jot down before we go to bed. That's a great gratitude practice. Keep a gratitude list. Think about things you were grateful for throughout the day. I'm grateful that this happened. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for my body, and I'm grateful for my kids, and for my health, and for my bed. And sure, lovely. But that's not it. And it's certainly not something that works well to force when things feel hard, right? You've heard that, or kind of maybe some of you had that kind of talk track where it's like, oh, I shouldn't feel bad. I should focus on what I'm grateful for. So many people have it worse. I should be grateful for what I have, right? Like that's like, oh, things are bad, but if I just think about what I'm grateful for, then maybe the bad things won't feel so bad. How does all that feel? Just do a feeling check for me, my friends. When you're making a gratitude list, and I've done this. I used to, my morning practice used to be like writing 2 pages of gratitudes every morning and then moving on to other journaling activities. And it helped me recognize how blessed I was, to be sure. It felt good, but like energetically, because gratitude isn't a thing that we just acknowledge. It isn't just a thing that we think. Gratitude is an energetic shift. It's an energy, it's a frequency, right? And it's one that when you can connect with will rewire your nervous system, expand your emotional capacity, and change the way that you can relate to your partner. But when you do gratitude the way most of us have been taught or think about gratitude, we say our little thanks at Thanksgiving, grateful for the food we have, I'm grateful for my family and friends. We're often not connecting to that energy. But when you learn how to access the true frequency of gratitude, when you can do that, you open yourself up to so much love and connection and tenderness and magic and you. Y'all, it's a quick little story. I did a gratitude practice this morning. I was listening to a meditation and it had me connect with the energy of like real gratitude and awe. And I probably shouldn't have done this while I was driving, but I busted out into tears and then giggles. It was so big and expansive. Like it was like I was so energetically like moved by the bigness of gratitude that I felt for life. Tears of joy and appreciation streaming down my face and laughter at just how ridiculously blessed I was. Like that. I'm not saying that like that you can tap into that every single time you're doing a gratitude practice, but you could, because that's what's available to you. And connecting with that kind of power, that kind of frequency, that kind of channel to the universe, to your partner, to and about your life, what that does in your nervous system, to your body, to the chemicals that you are carrying, it's gonna unlock some really powerful shit. So, just saying, this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, and it's like everything that we're doing here and talking about here in this work, this practice, this energy is something that you can do within yourself. You don't need your partner to do anything, to change anything, to be anything, to say anything, to get anything right. You can just tap into this, right? This gratitude gateway is open to you. Quick little plug, by the way, for the Relationship Revolution membership. This like learning how to take this kind of information and apply it and practice it is what we do inside of our membership. So if you know that you're the kind of person who's like, yes, I want that, I want to be able to do that, then the Relationship Revolution membership is the space for you. And I'll share more about it at the end, but there's a link in the description for this Catalyst conversation. We'd love to have you in. It's a no-brainer opportunity So $147 a month, cancel anytime if it doesn't fit you and help you transform your relationship. But this is a space where you get to continuously and consciously, like, deliberately evolve your relationship with new practices and new awarenesses and accountability and support to grow and grow and expand in this revolutionary commitment for more and better, to raise the standard. So, okay. Let's talk a little bit more about gratitude. Because I think about gratitude in like three big ways. First of all, so I want to share those three big ways that we can practice gratitude. First of all, practicing gratitude for what you have. This is kind of the standard thing that we think about, right? The foundational layer. We're thinking about like the pieces of our life that we are grateful to have, right? That we appreciate. This is grounding for our nervous system. It helps our brain scan for and tune into what's going well and what it is that we have that's right and good, that we want to continue, instead of constantly bracing for what's wrong, which is part of the value of doing a gratitude practice, because our brain actually is hardwired to look for what doesn't work and what's painful and what we don't like, because those are the things that could hurt us. So by practicing gratitude at all, you're training your brain to have more of a focus on that which is right, which then creates a life experience of more of what's right than that which is wrong. You're telling your brain what's going well is more important to me than what's not. And thus that becomes more of your lived experience. And when you are living in an experience where there are more things going right, more things tend to go right, because your energies change. And that is 100% true in your relationship. And we teach a tool in our programs that break that down and explain how that works and why that works, and how you can use that awareness to deliberately create more of that. That said, right? Yeah. This is not just about like thinking about what you're grateful for. The idea here is to attune to like why. Attune to like the real feeling of gratitude for it. Just listing it out only takes you so far. If you really want to unlock the magic and the power of gratitude, take a moment to consider why that thing is important to you, like why you're grateful. I'm grateful for my body because it gives me life. Because I have health, because I have ability, because I can see all of these beautiful, precious colors, because I can feel, because I can hear my child's voice, because I can taste my Thanksgiving meal, because, I can feel my partner's lips on mine. Go deeper, right? Like really, really notice. Go into the details. Go into the details of the present moment. Like, look around you. How did this thing that's in front of you get there? This computer or phone, whatever you're looking at. Like, how many hands, how many lives touched this, had to exist, had to come together for this to be here for you? What had to happen in your life for you to be here now? Start to really feel the preciousness, the miraculousness, the immensity of what is here, what you have, as you practice gratitude. Remember, gratitude is a frequency. It is not just a thought. It is just not just a list or an acknowledgement. It is a frequency that we tap into. Okay? And the more that you practice intentionally, deliberately seeing goodness, the more your brain relaxes. The more you relax, the more you soften. The more you soften, the more you're able to connect. The more you're able to connect, the better your relationship becomes. The better your relationship becomes, the more positive experiences you and your partner have. The more positive experiences you and partner have, the better your relationship becomes. And now you're in an upward spiral. And damn, now you've got more things to be grateful for. This is part of what makes gratitude so beautiful, is that the more we practice gratitude, the more things we find we have to be grateful for. So then comes this next level of gratitude, which is maybe more advanced, but I think it is a really powerful practice and part of the power of this gateway. And this is a gratitude for our struggles. Here we unlock even more magic. Because the truth is, my friends, all of your struggles, all of your challenges are gifts, resources, and opportunities. They show you what's not working. They invite you into your growth, into your evolution. They prevent you from staying stuck, staying small. They show you how you can become bigger, more, how you can receive more, how you can expand into your fullness and your potential, how you get to unlock all that is awaiting for you. Without the contrast, you'd be motivated to move into any of that. So there is great reason to thank, appreciate, have gratitude for struggles and challenges that show up in our lives and our relationships. Here we see the patterns that we get to break and get the opportunity to break them. Here we get to stretch. Here we get to solve problems and get better. Here is where gratitude becomes alchemy, right? Pain becomes transformation, frustration, growth, and your relationship then becomes your teacher. We may not always see it in the moment. We may not always understand what it is we're supposed to be learning or why this is happening, but we can know, we can trust, because we've seen it in the past. We have the hindsight to see the way our other challenges have supported us. We have the wisdom to recognize that indeed challenges are here. And we can anticipate that this too will grow us and that we do have the resources to get through it. We will allow this to grow us, not shrink us. We'll allow this to expand us. We will allow this to strengthen us and our relationship. It will not break us. It will not break you, my loves. It will not break you. You get to decide that, and so it shall be. And so we give thanks. That, dear ones, is relational leadership in practice. It is maturity, it is power, and it is using gratitude in its magnificence, in its highest potential. Why is my phone making noise? No one is supposed to be able to call me. I'm on Do Not Disturb. Apologies. Okay, and then so here's the third level. And this is one of this may be my favorite because it is so much fun to play with. And this is gratitude for what it is that you desire to have, that you don't necessarily already have. But you are being grateful for it as if you already do have it. This frequency of gratitude, it just changes everything. If you can feel it, the gratitude for the connection that you are creating, but you're grateful that you have it already, even if the evidence in front of you right now does not suggest that it's there, but you know that it is there, like on a future timeline, because you've decided it is, and you're just waiting to receive it. the tenderness you're calling in, the intimacy that you are inviting, the love that you're leading, the person you're becoming, the partner that you are uh, calling forth, that you see within your spouse, is in there, and you're nourishing the seed. You're co-growing that person together within them and within yourself. All of this exists, and you're giving thanks. It's like speaking of seeds, right? Talk about an acorn, right? Like, it's not just an acorn. It's like the potential, not of an oak tree, of a whole oak tree, but not just the oak tree, but the potential of that oak tree, and then all of the other oak trees that oak tree could produce. Like, that is the potential. And you're like, so you have an acorn, and you're grateful for the many abundance that it can create. That makes sense, right? Like, so we know that potential exists. All we have to do is just keep nourishing it. And so we could celebrate. We celebrate the harvest, knowing that we know how to get there, and you know how to get there. And if you don't know how now, you know that you can learn how. That's what you're doing. That's why you're listening, right? So this practice of gratitude is how you shift from longing into creation, from waiting into leading, and from hoping into embodying, right? This is manifestation through relational leadership. This is the energy that can move mountains. And when you show up in your relationship, if you approach your partner already grateful for who they are becoming, for the connection that that you are creating, even if you haven't yet had it, you're interacting with them as their potential for who they could become. There's a quote that I don't remember, but I'm going to talk about as if I did. That's like something about, I think I talked about this on one of my Catalyst conversations, but something about, like, if you treat people like how they have been acting, they stay kind of acting how they've been acting. But if you treat them how they like have the potential to act, they might just become that potential. It's like that. Like, so let me share a story. Maybe this will help. I get a lot of reels about, like, reels from, like, male content creators that are invitations to men about what they're missing in their understanding of women and how they're getting things wrong with their women. So it's like a call in from men to men about how to be better partners and husbands. And I got to tell you, like, there are moments where there's a part of me that's like feels that has some feelings about the fact that my man is not yet those men, right? That he's not yet, like, so evolved in his masculinity that he's making content for other men about how to evolve their masculinity. Um, uh, and which is really interesting. But what what their content is doing is highlighting for me the contrast between the where Cal is and the places where I have a desire for him to elevate. And it's like, it's up here elevation, because things are really great, but there's always a next level. Let me just tell you that there's always a next level. And so I find myself sometimes being, like, drawn into wanting to feel bad about that. And, like, oh, does that make us not good enough? Does that make us, inadequate as relationship mentors because we are not perfect. And who knows if these people are too. Like we can talk the talk without necessarily walking it. And they can say all those things. Who knows if they practice them? I don't know. But not the point. When I catch myself in complaining, because that's what it is, I start complaining in my head about how Cal isn't this and doesn't do that, and I wish he were more like that. When I catch myself in complaining, I challenge myself to instead practice gratitude for what I desire him to be, that he is not quite yet. And I start getting excited. I start imagining him like embodying those qualities. I start looking at him and seeing him as that person, as the kind of man who does remember those things or do those things or act that way or respond that way. And then, like all of a sudden, not only am I feeling better about him and more excited about our future, and I'm telling him about the things I'm excited that about or how our dynamic is going to shift, but I'm telling him in a way that shares with him this information. Like, I am so excited for how you're going to, which by the way, like programs his mind differently in a way that tells him, oh, you can do this. And I know you can, I'm excited for you, as opposed to like, I wish you would, which his brain would receive very differently. One programs his unconscious to say, this is something I can do and will do, and she knows it, and I believe her, and so I will. And another says, she doesn't believe I will, and I have failed, and creates resistance. Which one do you think is going to be more likely for him to actually then become? When I tell him I already believe he's become it, and I say, I can't wait till this is how we're interacting with one another. And he gets to go, me too. But it also it gets him excited. It tells him that we're on the same team, that I'm dreaming about how we both get to be better. And it supports our relationship. It unlocks more love. As opposed to me staying in a shitty feeling place. Or like a lot of us might do, I would have done in the past, like, oh, I have this desire for him to be different. Let me talk to him about my needs. Which is legitimate. I have a desire for you to be better in this way. Let me talk to you about it. But when I talk to you about it, it doesn't make you feel good. And then there's resistance, and then I don't get what I desire from you. Gratitude is so cool. Power move, y'all. And I want to throw in one little pro tip bonus. And it's called awe. Not like aw, but like awe. Like holy fucking shit. Wow. Awe. Awesome. When you start practicing these layers of gratitude, a shift can start to happen within you, such that you will begin to feel awe for your partner, like reverence, not idolization, not perfection, awe, deep, deep appreciation for their existence, for their humanity, for the miracle that is their being alive, let alone in your life and choosing to share this life with you. It's the, I can't believe I get to do this wild and crazy and complex and beautiful and imperfect human life with you kind of awe, right? It's it's presence, it's mind-boggling appreciation, and it is one of the most powerful glues of long-term love, and you can cultivate it. And it starts with gratitude. So, this is not small work. This is big, life-changing love work. It's foundational. It's transformative. But as big as it is, it's also not hard work. It's just work that you practice. And we can't practice it unless we understand what it is and what we're trying to do, right? The difference between just making a list and saying thanks. And by the way, when we say thanks, when we give thanks to our partner, like, hey, thanks for doing the dishes, that's very different. Like, we can practice gratitude here too in how we give thanks or share thanks and appreciation to one another. Thanks for doing the dishes is very different than like, hey, babe, I want you to know I really appreciate that you did the dishes tonight. But I do it all the time. I know. I appreciate it. Energy. And they'll feel it, and it's going to land different. We all love hearing thank you. Please thank your partner. Appreciate them for the little things, the common things, the everyday things. Thank the shit out of them all the time. Even if you've said it before 100 million times, keep thanking them. Thank yourself. Congratulate and celebrate yourself. If your partner didn't see it, hey, I vacuumed today. Oh, great. I'm proud of myself. Thank you. I know. Cool. Do that too. Right? Fill your life with appreciation and gratitude, not just on Thanksgiving, every single day. And also practice meaning it, connecting with it energetically. Okay? We getting this? Good. Love it. All right. TRR folks, remember, we are practicing this in our group, in our lives, in our relationships this week. So keep an eye out for your integration activation activities. This is something that is hopefully going to be a really beautiful and enjoyable practice that we're going to play with. So I'm excited to do this with you. And the hope is that we turn it, into not just something we do this week, right? But like a muscle memory that you can carry beyond November and into how you lead your love going forward, right? If you're not a part of TRR, the Relationship Revolution membership, and this conversation resonated, and you know that you're the kind of person who wants to go deeper, who wants to change her relationship, who appreciates having support and accountability and a container to be doing this kind of work in, then the Relationship Revolution membership is where you need to be. Again, it's $147 a month. Can cancel anytime. You're going to get weekly activations, monthly live calls, growing library of tools, community of amazing folks who are committed to growing and evolving their relationship. Behind the scene look at how Cal and I apply the concepts that we're talking about, and the support to continue to embody the relational leader that you want to become, so that your life can transform, your relationship can transform, and you can unlock the kind of love that most people only dream about. This is where practice becomes our power, my friends. And I would love to see you there. Keep in mind, also, I've mentioned a few times, but if you have not signed up yet or reached out about the Infinite Possibilities event, I would love to have you there. Infinite Possibilities event. This is a new event we're hoping to do every year, but it is going to be powerful. This is a 5-day event, 75 minutes a day. We are talking about it's not just talking. We're talking, teaching, and applying, right? This is like not just sit back and learn. Like we are integrating as we go how relational leadership and manifestation, like the powers that we have in co-creation, come together to open up the doors for everything we desire for our lives, for our relationship. Like, what do you want to create? And let's get into creating it, because the possibilities are infinite. And you are a powerful creator, a co-creator with source. And this program, which is based on Mike Dooley's book, Infinite Possibilities, is a powerful, like, step-by-step guide for deliberately and consciously creating the relationship of your dreams. You don't want to miss it. Today, if you're watching live, is Black Friday. And so the standard price for this 5-day experience is $777, but today we have it on sale for $444, which is an amazing deal. You get lifetime access to the replays and a really fantastic workbook along with it. So don't miss out. Comment Infinite Possibilities if you want to grab this Black Friday deal. It's going to be available through the weekend until Sunday. What is that? November 30th. And I'll have that in the description as well, that information. So that's it for today, my loves. Thank you so much for joining me. I am deeply grateful for you. Without you here to receive what I have to share, I wouldn't be able to do my work, my purpose in this world. And so I am profoundly grateful to have this space and to have your hearts and your minds and your relationships receiving it. I will see you next Friday for another Catalyst conversation in the relationship revolution. Until then,